the luxury restaurant in downtown Manhattan was buzzing that evening. Golden chandeliers shimmered above. Fine cutlery clinked softly, and laughter floated in the air like champagne bubbles. Every table seemed to hold someone powerful, wealthy, or famous. It was the kind of place where people didn't just eat, they announced themselves. And that night, seated at the center of it all, was a man who believed he owned the world, Michael Trent. A self-made millionaire with more ego than manners. Michael was used to being treated like royalty. His tailored navy suit whispered money, his diamond watch screamed it. People bowed to his arrogance because of his bank balance. But beneath all that polished confidence was something uglier, a hunger to feel superior. And tonight, he'd found his next target. Across the room, a young black waitress named Amina carried a tray of wine glasses. With the quiet grace of someone who'd seen more than she ever said. Her uniform was spotless, her smile gentle. But there was a spark in her eyes. The kind that made people look twice without knowing why. She wasn't loud, but her presence had weight. When Amina approached Michael's table, he was in the middle of boasting to his friends about his latest investment. A tech company in China that he barely understood but loved bragging about. His friends laughed at every joke, even when it wasn't funny. When Amina set the glasses down and politely asked if they were ready to order, Michael leaned back, his smirk dripping with condescension. Well, he said loudly, making sure nearby tables could hear. They'll hire anyone these days, huh? Tell me, sweetheart, do you even understand what half this menu says? Or do you just smile and nod like a good little waitress? Amina blinked but said nothing. She'd faced worse before. She simply nodded and said softly, "Would you like to start with drinks, sir?" Michael chuckled, swirling his wine. "Actually, I've got a better idea," he said, tapping the table with a gold ring. "You see, I just came back from Shanghai. They say Chinese is one of the hardest languages in the world. So how about this?" He leaned forward, his grin widening. "I'll give you $100,000 if you can serve me in Chinese." The restaurant went quiet. His friends burst out laughing. "Come on, Mike," one of them said between guffaws. "You can't be serious." "Oh, I'm dead serious," Michael said, smirking. $100,000 if she can even say a full sentence in Chinese. What do you say, sweetheart? Think you can manage that?" Amina looked at him calmly, her eyes unreadable. The laughter from the table rolled over her like smoke. She'd heard insults before, but this was different. This was a challenge dressed as humiliation. "Are you sure about that?" she asked quietly. Michael raised an eyebrow. "Oh, absolutely. But let's be honest, you can't even pronounce your boss's name, can you?" His friends roared again. Amina set her tray down gently. She looked at him. For a long moment, not with anger, but with something far sharper, dignity. Then, in perfect Mandarin, she began speaking fluently. "Good evening, sir. Welcome to our restaurant. Would you like to start with something to drink? Our special today is Peking duck and mapo tofu." The laughter stopped instantly. Michael's glass froze halfway to his lips. His friend's jaws dropped. Amina continued, her tone graceful. Confident, not showing off. Just speaking like someone who belonged in every language she touched. Then she smiled softly and switched to flawless French. "Oh, peut-être vous préférez le vin français avec votre dîner, monsieur? Or perhaps you'd prefer French wine with your dinner, sir?" Before anyone could react, she shifted seamlessly into Spanish. Then Italian, then Arabic, each word rolling off her tongue like music. The entire restaurant had turned to watch. By the time she spoke in German and then Japanese, even the kitchen staff had stopped working. Amina ended in Swahili, the language of her grandmother. Her voice trembling slightly but proud. "Heshima ni kwa wale wano heshima wenjin." Respect belongs to those who respect others. Silence blanketed the room. The millionaire, who had been smirking just moments ago, now looked like a man stripped bare. His arrogance melted under the weight of her quiet brilliance. Amina looked at him calmly and said in English, "Would you like me to continue, sir? I speak 9 languages. Not because I'm lucky, but because I worked for it. Every night after work, every morning before sunrise. I studied so I could speak to anyone, anywhere, with respect. Something money can't buy." You could have heard a pin drop. Michael's lips parted, but no words came out. For the first time, he felt something stronger than power, shame. His friends stared down at their plates, pretending to check their phones. Nobody dared laugh. Amina picked up her tray and smiled gently. "Now, about that $100,000, I'll donate it to a scholarship fund for multilingual students. That way, others can have the chance I never did." With that, she turned and walked away, her steps light, her posture regal. The entire restaurant erupted into quiet applause. Even the manager, who had been watching nervously from the corner, couldn't help but smile with pride. Michael sat there, stunned. His reflection in the wine glass looked smaller somehow. He reached into his wallet, pulled out his checkbook, and began writing. When Amina returned to the counter later that night, there was an envelope waiting for her. Inside was a check, and a note that read, "You've taught me something no business deal ever has. That respect is the only true currency worth spending." The next morning, the story spread like wildfire. A diner had recorded the entire exchange and posted it online. Within hours, the video had millions of views. People around the world watched as a young black waitress turned humiliation into triumph with nothing but grace, intelligence, and dignity. News outlets called it the $100,000 lesson in respect. Language. Schools reached out to sponsor her education. Universities offered her scholarships. Talk shows begged her for interviews. But when asked what she wanted to do next, Amina simply said, "I want to teach kids that their accent isn't a weakness, it's a story. A bridge to the world." And she did. Months later, Amina founded a nonprofit called Voices Without Borders, helping underprivileged children learn languages and connect globally. Her motto was simple: if you speak more than one language, you speak more than one world. As for Michael Trent, he became one of her biggest donors. In every interview since, he never spoke about his millions again. Only about the day a waitress taught him what real wealth looks like. Because respect, in any language, sounds the same.